graduated a very, very, very long time ago from the University of Illinois, and in veterinary school, particularly back then, we were taught everything traditional, and somewhere along the line in the early 90s, I got turned on to alternative things, and it kind of started accidentally. I accidentally took a chiropractic course. I thought it was something else. So I thought it was like a surgical recovery course. And that's how it was advertised, and then I realized I was sitting in a room with a bunch of chiropractors and veterinarians, and we were talking about chiropractic. So since I took the course and paid for it, I said, well, I'm going to stick this out. So I finished my week of training, or whatever the heck it was at the time, and started using the chiropractic in practice, and the results were over the top amazing. So then I felt bad for all those long back dogs, and the dachshunds, the bassets, the cockers, all those dogs with back problems that we've been euthanizing over the years, or leaving them with a life of paralysis, when I realized there was actually more that we could do. So then I went a little bit crazy and tried to learn everything I could about every holistic modality out there. There are some really weird things out there, and I can't learn them all. So I kind of had to pick and choose. So the next big thing that I took was acupuncture, and absolutely love acupuncture. So I use that in combination with chiropractic a lot. There's actually 4 branches of Chinese medicine: acupuncture, Tui Na, which is sort of a combination massage and chiropractic, herbals, and food therapy. And when I got to the food therapy part of the studying of Chinese medicine, I really found my niche. And I happen to be very lucky because one of my registered technicians is a food guru, food junkie. Long before I got into food for healing, she was one of those people who was very into raw feeding, and she was in pretty much every chat room that you can imagine, talking about different diets and feeding and raw food and ingredients. And she's really a godsend to me, because I can walk into a room with a client and I can say, well, what are you feeding your pet now? And they'll say, oh, I can't remember the name of it. The bag is kind of gold, and it's got this dog down in the corner. She instantly knows what it is, and she knows what the ingredients are, because this is her hobby. So for me, that's phenomenal. So if somebody names a brand of food that I'm not familiar with, which at this point I'm getting familiar with a lot of them, but they keep coming out with new ones all the time. But it's great because I can just look at her and she'll give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So, and then we do a lot of research on food for people. And the thing that I like most about food is that it really is the foundation of life. And if you have a lot of time to kill, I have about 15 hours worth of videos on YouTube that start at square one: how to read the labels on the pet food bags and cans and boxes and whatever. And the good ingredients, the bad ingredients, which we can talk about a little bit. And then go through the pros and cons of raw feeding, home cooked, canned, dry, semi-moist, and so that you really know what it is that you're feeding your pet, instead of just taking the guy in the next cubicle's recommendation, which I'm going to do a quick survey of what everybody's feeding right now, so I don't make too many people too mad right off the bat.
Anime.
Okay.
Nutrisource and raw.
Okay.
Vera.
Plan.
Pedigree and holistic select.
You got to change up your pedigree. What's up with that?
Taste of the wild.
Okay.
Candidate.
All right. You guys are on foods that were phenomenal when they came out, and they've been sold to the big 3, and they're horrible now. You're welcome. Yeah. You Purina people, we'll talk about that. From?
Veris.
Veris. Okay. Veris is popular.
Yeah. Well, they're manufactured here.
Wow. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. And how many? All right. So one person said raw. How many people are feeding raw? Just one. How many people feed dry? There we go. How about canned?
Mix it in.
Okay. And anybody feeding people food, table food?
Fruits and vegetables.
Okay. Okay. I mean, along with whatever. Okay. Good. So we're not